Hi, welcome to my studio, Art by Mojo. Today I'm going to show you how that I make water splashes like this around the dolphin, sand, and more sand around the shells. Today we're going to do it on this little beach scene. Occasionally, not very often, but occasionally one of my pastels will break off like this. And what I generally do is I save that, put it in a little Ziploc bag, and then I take some pliers, and normally I would put paper over it so it wouldn't tear the plastic, but so you can see what I'm doing. And I just crush it with the pliers very gently. Don't want to tear the bag and get it everywhere. But now you've got, well, like that. But now you've got powder. Of course I'm going to mess up on the video. Oh well. Just shows you everybody messes up occasionally. Another way you can do it is if you don't have any nips that break off, you can take a piece of pastel, like this is a pastel stick, and you can take a utility knife and just lightly scrape it and control where your pastel is going. I'm in South Carolina and our sand is not all white like other places that I've been. So I'm going to add a little bit of brown. And it doesn't matter if the chunks are bigger or smaller, it doesn't matter. I like to have a little bit of both. And I'm also going to use, you can see that I have some others I've got to crush. And I'm also going to add a little bit of this beigey yellowy color. Now it's not adhered to the paper yet, so if it's at a place that you don't want it to be, I use a stump and I just gently and lightly, I don't want it on my leaves, push it away. But you can't really do this process before you finish your drawing. You have to do it after. So, okay, about like that. I'm going to remove these two magnets and put them here. Now you use a sheet of glassine paper and you just lay it over the area that you have dropped the pastel down on, and you can use a roller. I have this acrylic roller, or you can use like a glass that doesn't have a cut edge on the outside. Anything that's flat, a dowel would work, and just rub it across there, and you can hear it going over the chunks. And my roller has a little bit of a squeak. Now, this is going to have some excess, and what you knock off, you know, you can't really use again. And I'll vacuum that up in a few minutes. Now, I'm not completely happy with that. I want a little more white. So I'm going to take this piece of pastel, and in case you're wondering, this is a Master's pastel. And I'm going to add a little bit more white. And this is only a 4x6 painting. So not very big at all. Do the process again. I try not to use the same spot on the glassine. Lay it a different way, flip it over. But if you buy pastel mat, this paper comes in between each sheet, so it's great to lay your hand on when you're painting with pastels, or to do this with. Sometimes I use it when I'm storing my paintings to put between each one of them. And again, you'll just knock the excess off. And a little green on there, but that's down in the bottom. That don't matter. The matte will go over it. Something like that. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how, same process, but this time we're going to do just white, and it's just going to be the water splashes. Again, you just shave lightly. I want a little of this up on the whale and in the lightest area of the ocean that I've painted, just to give it a little something extra. And you can see that I'm not scraping very hard. My knife is almost parallel with the chalk, or pastel, sorry. I love the way this looks. And you know, the whales just came, I just got finished doing dolphins, so my mind's on dolphins. The whales just came up out of the water, so they're going to have some water on them. A little bit more right here. Okay. Different corner of my paper over it. And I'm going to roll it again. And using the knife makes it more of a powder than chunks, unless you cut harder. So for the fine stuff, you can see there's a little bit of an imprint left on my paper, so I've got to be careful not to use that corner again. And there we have a little water spray. Put that in a pile, and I'm going to do just a little bit more. And it really depends on how many layers of pastels you have on your pastel matte paper, which is my favorite. I've recently switched to using mostly light blue. The darker the pastel matte, the more of a grain it has. So if you have something you're doing many layers on, these small ones don't have that many layers. I would probably go with, you know, a medium color, mid-tone. But in doing small ones and a lot of the images that I do, I use the light blue. I like it a lot. And we just roll it again. Now you can't put this directly on your paper, or you're going to be smearing pastel from place to place as the wheel rolls. Okay, there we go. So now we look like a spray is up there on our wheels, and we call that done. I hope you enjoyed this and that you can use this technique on something that you've painted. Have a great day and come back to see me soon, and please click the subscribe button below if you haven't done so before. Thank you.